Dubai International Airport is the world's busiest international airport, and Dubai is shutting it down. Not because it is failing, because it has become too successful to survive. In 2025, the airport processed 95.2 million passengers. By 2026, that figure is projected to reach 99.5 million. For 11 consecutive years, it is ranked first in international passenger traffic. And yet, Dubai has committed $35 billion to replace it deliberately. The geography determines everything. Dubai International sits in the northern part of the city, surrounded on all sides. The Sharjah border runs to the north. Dense residential neighborhoods press in from the east and west districts that did not exist when the airport was first built. The E11 highway runs alongside it. The city expanded around DXB, the way a city always expands around infrastructure. Gradually, then completely, until the infrastructure is locked in place and cannot be touched. The airport operates on approximately 14 square kilometers with 2 parallel runways. 2 runways for 95 million passengers a year. London Heathrow handles around 80 million passengers annually and has spent decades in political and legal battles over the construction of a 3rd runway. Dubai International moves 20% more traffic than Heathrow, with the same runway count, in a facility that cannot expand by a single meter in any direction. The engineering response to those constraints has been considerable. The airport has deployed AI-driven baggage handling, biometric passenger processing, and operational systems that airport consultancies travel long distances to study. But there is a number that no amount of technology can move. That number is 114 million, the absolute physical ceiling of Dubai International. The maximum theoretical throughput if every system performs perfectly and nothing disrupts the flow. Demand is projected to reach that ceiling by 2031. Operating at 99% of capacity does not mean the airport is nearly full. It means the system has lost its ability to absorb disruption. Every major hub in the world maintains what engineers refer to as slack spare gate capacity, spare runway availability, spare processing throughput. At Dubai International, a sandstorm that grounds 40 flights leaves those aircraft with nowhere to park. A technical delay on a single A380 cascades through a dozen connecting banks because there is no spare gate to redirect it. The airport is not simply busy. It is operating at the point where one serious disruption does not produce a delay, it produces a network failure. Emirates alone drives much of that pressure. The airline serves 291 destinations and operates one of the largest A380 fleets in the world. Each A380 carries up to 615 passengers and requires substantial gate infrastructure to board and deboard efficiently. At Dubai International, those aircraft are, in the assessment of infrastructure analysts, pushed against the Sharjah border. There is no physical room to expand the operation further. The conclusion drawn from that analysis was not to patch the existing facility. It was to build a replacement. 40 kilometers south of Dubai International, Maktoum International Airport has existed in various incomplete forms since 2010. For most of its operational life, it handled cargo, accommodated low-cost carriers, and absorbed overflow traffic from the main hub. It was described by some in the financial press as a white elephant, a large, expensive patch of desert with limited passenger activity and no clear date of consequence. That description misread the intent. Al Maktoum was not designed to compete with Dubai International. It was designed to succeed it. The slowdown in development between 2009 and the early 2020s reflected a deliberate choice. Extract maximum value from the existing asset while waiting for the moment when that asset's limitations became a structural problem. That moment came in 2024, when Dubai International posted 92.3 million passengers, its 11th consecutive annual record, and the forward projections made the arithmetic unavoidable. In April 2024, Dubai announced the full expansion program for Al Maktoum International. AED 128 billion, 35 billion US dollars, the largest single aviation infrastructure investment in recorded history. The project involves 5 parallel runways, each 4.5 kilometers in length, configured for quadruple simultaneous parallel approaches, the operational standard for eliminating holding patterns and maximizing aircraft movements per hour, 400 contact gates, compared to roughly 200 at Dubai International. A 14-station automated people mover forming a continuous loop across the campus. A single concourse building, 1.7 miles in length, equivalent in length to all 3 existing concourses at Dubai International combined, and a total passenger capacity target of 260 million per year. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, the world's busiest by total passenger volume, processed around 104 million passengers in 2023. The facility being constructed in Dubai South is designed to handle 2.5 times that volume. No airport currently in existence, and no airport currently planned, approaches that number. The transition from one hub to the other is not a simple opening ceremony. It is a coordinated migration. The plan, currently targeted for around 2032, involves moving Emirates and Fly Dubai, which together account for the majority of Dubai's air traffic from Dubai International to Al Maktoum, in a window of approximately 48 to 72 hours. That means 500 flights, more than 100 airlines, thousands of ground support vehicles, and the full digital infrastructure of the airport check-in systems, baggage routing, gate management software, catering logistics, all operational at the new site from the first hour. The history of major airport transitions does not offer straightforward precedents. Denver International opened in 1995, 4 months late, after its automated baggage system failed during testing. Heathrow's Terminal 5 opened in 2008, and within hours the baggage system failed. 28,000 bags were stranded, and 500 flights were canceled. Berlin-Brandenburg Airport accumulated 9 years of delays before its opening in 2020. Those were new terminals. Dubai is proposing to relocate an entire hub network within 3 days. To manage the risk, the plan includes 12 months of shadow operations, a period during which cargo carriers and secondary airlines run live through Al Maktoum systems before Emirates makes its first scheduled commercial landing at the new facility. The transition also places significant demands on airlines that are not Emirates. Carriers currently operating at Dubai International must simultaneously renegotiate slots, retrain ground crews, relocate check-in infrastructure, and restructure passenger routing, all without losing access to the 291 destination network. Airlines build their schedules 18 months in advance. Ground handling contracts run for multiple years. Crew layover hotels, catering agreements, and maintenance facilities are all positioned around Dubai International's northern location. The logistics of moving all of that southward, in coordination, is a task without close historical parallel. What has already moved is instructive. Emirates has begun relocating crew housing and operational logistics to Dubai South. $12 billion has been allocated specifically for Emirates infrastructure at the new hub, including a new global headquarters, catering facilities capable of producing 200,000 meals per day, an engineering center built to service Boeing 777X and Airbus A350 fleets. A purpose-built crew village will house more than 12,000 cabin crew members within a 10-minute shuttle ride of the terminal. When an airline moves its kitchens and its crew accommodation, the commitment is no longer theoretical. The passenger operation is only part of the project's economic logic. Al Maktoum is being developed as a trimodal freight hub integrating air cargo, sea freight, and rail freight into a single bonded logistics corridor. A direct connection to Jebel Ali Port, the largest container port in the Middle East, enables sea-to-air cargo transfers in under 4 hours. When the Etihad rail network reaches full integration, goods can move from the interior of the Gulf to an aircraft hold in Dubai South without using a public road. The cargo capacity target is 12 to 15 million tons annually. Dubai International currently handles approximately 2.5 million tons. The project targets a 6-fold increase in air freight throughput, not as a secondary feature of the passenger facility, but as an equal pillar of the business case. The Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan projects 1 million residents in Dubai South and 500,000 new jobs in aviation and logistics. Real estate prices in the surrounding area rose 20% between 2025 and 2026, before a single new terminal gate has opened. The airport is the anchor for a new urban district. The Aerotropolis, the city organized around the hub, is the product. The terminals are the centerpiece. Against that scale of ambition, there are material risks that remain unresolved. Sustainable aviation fuel currently accounts for less than 1% of global jet fuel demand. Every one of the 260 million projected annual passengers represents a carbon footprint that no current technology can meaningfully offset. The project has targeted LEED Gold certification and committed to solar power for terminal operations, but terminal energy use represents a small fraction of the total environmental impact of the flights the terminal is designed to facilitate. The scenario in which carbon levies or regulatory mandates reshape long-haul aviation economics by the 2040s is modeled as a credible risk by airport and airline planning bodies worldwide. Al Maktoum is designed for a world in which demand for hub-and-spoke long-haul travel continues to grow. If that assumption proves wrong, the utilization projections change materially. There is also a structural question about the hub model itself. Aircraft, such as the Boeing 787 and Airbus A350, have made a growing number of city pairs viable as direct routes, bypassing intermediate connection points. Dubai's position as a global transit hub depends on passengers choosing, or having no alternative to, routing through the Gulf. Dubai's counterargument rests on demographic expansion specifically. The projection that population growth across India, Africa, and Southeast Asia will generate enough new travelers, from cities not yet served by direct long-haul routes, to sustain hub traffic even as point-to-point connectivity erodes the premium end of the market. That projection may prove correct. The regional competitive environment adds further pressure. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 program includes Riyadh Air, a new full-service carrier with no legacy cost structure and sovereign backing. King Salman International Airport in Riyadh is being designed for a capacity of 185 million annual passengers. Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and other Gulf states are all investing in aviation infrastructure on the same premise that connectivity is economic infrastructure and that the state which builds the most of it captures the most of what flows through it. Dubai's response to that competition is a capacity figure none of its regional neighbors can currently match: 260 million. The underlying logic is that a network large enough becomes self-reinforcing airlines cannot afford to exclude themselves from it, and the volume of connections it generates makes it the default routing option for any carrier operating in the region. Whether 260 million is the number that achieves that outcome, or whether it is simply a larger commitment to a still uncertain premise, will be determined over the coming decades. By 2035, Dubai International Airport is expected to cease operations as a primary international hub. 14 square kilometers of urban land in the northern part of the city, bounded by highways and residential districts, will become available for redevelopment. Specific plans for that land have not been made public. It is some of the most valuable urban real estate in the Middle East, and what is built there will reshape the northern half of the city for generations. 40 kilometers south, in terrain that remained undeveloped precisely because the city never reached it, 260 million passengers per year are projected to move through a terminal designed by Foster and Partners, connected to a port by a bonded freight corridor, linked to a regional rail network, and set within a residential district planned for 1 million inhabitants. Whether that system operates at the scale its planners intend, or whether it comes to represent a bet placed at the wrong moment in the history of aviation, is not a question that resolves on a short timeline. What is already clear is the logic that produced it. Dubai looked at the world's most successful international airport 11 consecutive years of records, 95 million passengers a year, and concluded that continuing to operate within its limits was the greater risk. The airport that built the city had reached the point where the city could no longer afford to keep it. The replacement is being built in the desert, where there are no limits yet, because the ones that mattered most were already visible in the north.